it's Kolsen and and we are out on a mission today looking for used furniture and good deals to furnish and decorate my deck off of the master bedroom. And today is mine and my husband's anniversary. He's out of town on a business trip, so I've taken this project under my belt while he's away so that we can celebrate our anniversary next weekend when he's back into town. And we've lived in our house for about 3 years now. And as I'm just reflecting on the course of events that brought us to this house, I thought that I should share this with all of you who might be feeling a little bit frustrated or stressed. Maybe doors just keep closing and you need to make a decision, you need to move in a direction and you don't know which direction to move in. This of many stories that I've experienced in my life. I mean, I'm telling you, there's been multiple stories in my life where I feel like everything is down to the wire. And what? Yeah, there's another one where everything is down to a wire and I literally need, like, it's like I don't know what I'm gonna do or where I'm gonna go, and then boom, God shows up every single time. So I wanted to share this story about our house. I was nervous because for several reasons, not necessarily that we would find a house. To me, that was a little bit easier than the fact that I knew we were going to have to uproot the kids from their school again, and we were just going to be renting, and I knew that in 2 to 3 years after that we would buy, and that's a whole other ball game. And what if we find a house that's not in the school district and we have to uproot the kids again? And as a mom, yeah, I know,
just 2.
That's okay. I'll just open it a little crack and they'll fly right out. Yeah, it's okay. Wanting to make sure that my kids stayed in a stable environment after what that they've experienced and how many moves that they've gone through was really, really important to me. And it was not that important to my husband during this time because, you know, he was a new dad and he really didn't think about those things. And I had to give it to the Lord. I had to lay it down. I had to trust God fully with this. As doors are being closed, we don't know where we're going to move. And I kind of felt alone and planning strategically, and not that I really had the choice because doors were closing anyway. So up until, we literally had about a month and a half to find a house and get out of our lease. Maybe less than, I think it was less than that. My husband was out of town on another business trip and told me to go check out this one particular house that he saw in Temecula, which is where we wanted to live. And as I'm driving over there, to be honest with you, I was grumbling because it felt so far away and so unfamiliar, and I just had a really, really bad attitude. Anybody ever have a bad attitude? Probably not. I'm the only one. Anyway, so I was grumbling and complaining to myself because nobody else was in the car. And I turn the corner and I go up this hill and I keep going up a hill, and into this neighborhood. And I'm like, okay. And I meet the realtor there. And as I'm walking through the house, there was a lot more in the house that was left out of the description. And I could not understand how it was being rented for as low as it was. It just did not add up for the neighborhood, for the size of it, what was in the house. And then we get to the master bedroom and I open the door and I look out and there is this amazing deck that overlooks all of Temecula Valley. I'm that girl. I started crying. I'm like, this is the house. And the realtor probably thought I was nuts, but that's okay. But there was such strong emotion as I stepped out on that deck. It was beyond what I could put into words. And at the time, I thought I was just captivated by, I love being outside. And I thought I was captivated by what I was seeing. But as we lived in the house longer, I realized that it was the Lord speaking to me and that he was positioning us and he was calling us to this house. And this wasn't just a house that my husband wanted me to check out, but this would eventually be our home. Long story short, remember my concern about not uprooting the kids again when we were ready to buy, and it was time, we were ready. And we didn't think we could buy it because the landlords had no intentions of selling. And it was literally hours away from signing the papers on another house that both my husband and I were not happy about. It was just a safe financial move for us to reestablish a home and buy a home for the first time in my life ever. And I woke up and the deck that I go out on all the time to overlook the city and see the city lights, I called him and I said, I need you to ask the landlord if we can stay. I can't leave this house until I know that he won't sell it. And he said no at first, and then through the course of conversation,
Mom,
what?
I got to fly.
Oh, right.
And I got to fly last night, and I was freaking out.
You got to fly and you were freaking out?
Yes.
That's crazy stuff. That's a cool story, dude. Thank you.
Yes.
Through the course of conversation, their hearts were changed and they were willing to sell the house, and we ended up in the house for an amount that we all felt peace about. And that same deck that I walked into the house at first, and what opened my eyes up and just really was a significant moment for me, is the same deck that I overlook the city and see the city lights, and God just puts on my heart to pray. I pray for you. I pray for your children. I pray for your marriage. I pray for the city. I pray for our neighborhoods. I pray for our churches. And that's where Rise Global Prayer movement is being birthed, because how God just speaks to me on this deck. And so now on my 4-year anniversary, I am setting out to find some used furniture to decorate it and make it our own and make it a nice cozy place for both my husband and I to have little mini date nights in the mix of a busy life, as well as a place that I can sit and write and continue to pray for all of you. So if you are put in a corner where you feel like doors are just being closed left and right, I would encourage you, seek God, leave it with Him, trust His plan, trust that He's working behind the scene, and wait on His timing, because He's doing something. He's positioning you, He's preparing you, and He has something mind-blowing, incredible for you. And you know what? A lot of times that mind-blowing, incredible is disguised in some really, really, really hard times. And I am not unfamiliar to those hard times, and I want to encourage you that even in the hard times, trust that God is working behind the scene and He has a plan for your life. Just seek Him, trust Him, and move forward as He leads. Be blessed, be encouraged, and stay tuned for the deck project.